Okay, boys, in this video we're going to start looking at sizing up our images here to try and make it look balanced on the page. Okay, so a couple of things. What do I mean by balance? Well, if I put that over there on this, or this is sitting over there like that, then obviously we'll have a look at that page there. It doesn't look balanced, does it? And this really needs to come in there a little bit. This could come across. That could come across a little bit more. Maybe that could come down a little bit. I'm starting to think, okay, rightio, that looks a little bit more balanced. Okay, the distance there and the distance there are similar. I've got a little bit of a gap here, so perhaps I could bring that up a little bit more, bring that up a little bit more, and now so the gap in here, okay, or the gap there is more likely the gap or similar to that gap there. So all of a sudden our drawing is starting to fit in the middle of the page. You're going to learn a lot about the principles of design over the next few years, and this is a classic example of one of those principles of design. Okay, what we're trying to do is balance our drawing on the page. There's an alignment here between our views and an alignment there between our views, and you can see we're trying to get this balance here right. Now another one of those elements, principles of design, and you'll see them on your sketch sheets if you look down the bottom. It's got principles of design. You'll see one there, okay, that talks about emphasis, and there's a few different parts to emphasis, but one of those things is scale. I'm going to talk a bit about scale now. I can do some amazing things to this drawing here. If I go right click and edit view, then hit the left button, I can change the scale of that. Now normally that comes up as a scale of 1:1, which is just full size. But I can actually make that smaller, and I can make that bigger. Now you probably recognize that 1:1, that's a ratio. There's another way of expressing that, and that is just 1. Okay, so 1:1 is actually just 1. But what if I said 0.5? Okay, and I reduce that down and make that smaller. What scale will that be? Well, there's another way of saying that. 0.5 is, what's that as a fraction? It's a half. And what is that as a ratio? Well, it's 1:2. So if I type 1, 2, and go OK, that shouldn't change size. So you can talk in ratio in the term of a ratio, as it is down there where it says scale 1:1, or you can just simply type a decimal in there, which will give you something that's smaller than the actual object. So 0.2 will make it even smaller. Okay, or if I go in there and I change that scale and say I'm going to make that 2.3, so this time it's greater than 1, it's going to make it ginormous. So what we can go in there and we can play around and we can edit those until we're happy with the scale that we think looks fine. So let's put in 1.2 and see how that looks. Let's go over here and have a look at this one, and oh, it's 1.2 as well. Okay, so now I sit there and think, okay, does that look alright? Well, that's not too bad. I've got a little bit more information I need to put in here. I need to put in a page title. I need to put in some subtitles. But I want you to have a little bit of a practice playing around with scale and see if you can work on, there it is there again, scale, work on getting that page set up so the objects are the right scale, and also there's a sense of balance or alignment to your drawings. And when you've got that done, check out the next video and we'll talk about adding more subtitles and page titles.